Good evening. My name's Joanna Weston. I've come over today from England for 7 days, for a week, and having New Year here, so very excited. So tonight's my first night here, so it's great to be here. I've been planning a European tour and I started considering the countries that I wanted to visit when a friend of mine suggested that I checked out a website called GigSwap, and it turned out that his friend Henk over in Utrecht actually is the co-founder of this site, and then I was invited over for a week and was given the opportunity to perform a couple of gigs over there. So we're on the train, we've got the taxi from Tom's to Norwich train station. So we're on the train now going to Manningtree to then change trains to get to Harwich before we get the ferry. So we're just having a little morning tea and coffee moment together. This whole trip over to Holland is on the cheap. We're staying at friends' houses, we're pretty much couch surfing, kind of roughing it, which is really great feeling
We have 2 houses and we're open for couch service, www.couchsurfing.com. It's a community for people that travel around the world and sleep anywhere. It's people's couches or on a spare bed, anything like that.
At the home where I stayed, Sylvia and Henk, incredible musicians. Sylvia, she sings, plays the guitar, mandolin, violin, and we had a couple of jams throughout the week that went really, really well. Our voices just were beautiful together, actually.
It was beautiful, yeah. Just beautiful. I'm really enjoying myself with her. She's a lovely person and a very good musician, very good musical feeling. She's lovely. It takes me into a little journey when I hear her music. I joined her playing on stage this week. It was very surprising. I played a bit of bass and I really traveled into her world. It's very atmospheric, it's beautiful, beautiful music.
Kay's Place was the venue that I got the opportunity to jam with all the musicians with. It was a really interesting venue. I don't think I've ever really been to a venue quite like it. It's just down by the river. You have to go down some steep steps to get into the venue, and it's this like long tunnel that ran underneath the town, and it was a really interesting place. It had a really good vibe, really good atmosphere, but apparently they had some problems there with regards to the building, so it leaks and there's like mould growing up on the walls, but it doesn't look like mould. It looks like trees growing, but it's really, really pretty, really lovely. It's known for its water dripping down. I think they had a leak some time ago and it's just not been able to get repaired or something, but so they can't do anything with the decor. It's got to pretty much stay as it is, but it kind of added a lot of character to it. Through Sylvia, I met some of her close friends, and one guy I met was called Harrio, and he is also a musician, and he came over to the house one evening for dinner and we had a bit of a jam, and that was just really, really lovely. We then went down later on that evening to Kay's Place, and he was one of the musicians that came up on stage. We did like a little duo set, and when I do go back I look forward to working with him. Henk is also a fantastic singer-songwriter. He's got his own studio and he's the co-founder of Gig Swap, which he set up in Holland. He also, amongst all of these other projects that he's running, owns his own bicycle repair store.
Gig Swap, Henk, what's Gig Swap all about?
A swap of gigs.
It's a swap of gigs.
So a gig is
In Europe or
you know your
all around the
local
world.
scene, and you introduce people to it.
Yeah.
And then in return they introduce you to...
You can introduce musicians. You know your local scene. You know, like there's places around here you can have a gig, like open stages or jam sessions, or organize just an organized gig. And you invite people, for example, by couch surfing. You can invite musicians, and they can stay at your house, have a sleepover, and have a gig here in town.
Right, we're off to Henk's bike shop, where he renovates old bikes and then he hires them out to people to use around town. When Henk invited us down to his bike shop, he gave us some directions. When we were walking there, we got totally lost, so I asked this guy on his bike and he didn't know where it was, and then he got his sat nav out on his phone and that couldn't find it. But before we knew it, I looked round and there was a signpost hidden by some trees, so I didn't see it before, and we were literally standing on the corner of this road. Henk's bike shop is like a little palace. It's like a little chocolate box. It was just so cute. And he had this like little shop out the front where you could buy accessories and things for your push bikes, and then just out the back you had his workshop, and he had all of his tools hanging up. It just had a really nice energy in there, and it was just beautiful, really, really cute.